Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Tubaplyr NegativeAE, and I am here with another episode of Vagante. Recently, I got into contact with some of the people that have been commenting on my videos, and they were like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, hey, want to play Vagante? And they were like, sure. So I believe SoldierAphix is on the Rogue, and we have Zane on the Wildling, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really cool that I got to play with them, just in general, and he, obviously, he's going Death's Allocate. He defeated freaking Goblin Boss in like maybe half a second. It's pretty insane. I love Death's Allocate, but I don't even know. It's too risky for me. Yeah, I've never been one to take risks. I've never been one to be like, oh, freaking, I don't know. What's a risk? What's a risk that people take on a daily basis? I don't know. Or maybe something absurd like, oh, jump off this building and you'll get $1 million. Trust me, it'll be safe. I will not jump off that building and get $1 million because I don't know if I'm gonna be safe. That's too much of a risk for me, right? Like, you don't know the situation. It's shady. It's a very big situation, though. That's not at all what people go through on a daily basis. Could you imagine people just jumping off buildings? Freaking, like, here's $1 million. Like, that's the reality show, right? Like here's $1 million. All you gotta do is jump off this building, and we'll save you. Don't worry. But it's actually like death. That would be a good movie, like population control, kind of like how The Purge like depicts itself as a movie. Like, make it like a reality show where people have to jump off buildings. Be a good horror show, and people are like forced to participate. But like, it's good because you get $1 million. I don't know. I think of fucked up reality show ideas. That's for gosh darn sure. It'd be a cool concept for a movie, though. Freaking, I get hit because I'm typing there. So this is post commentary. I've been at odds with post commentary for a while. I started out post commentary with Tales of Zestria. I started playing Tales of Zestria like a long time ago, and I never finished it. I played like the first episode, and I played it like post commentary. And I mean, it wasn't what I liked. I didn't like that at all. So I went straight to live commentary, and I never did post commentary ever again. So now I'm back doing post commentary again. Now that like my thought process is a lot more clear, because before I'd have no idea my thought process. Like, what am I trying to say? I would like start to say something, and then I would have no idea where to go from it. And I'm still that way. That was really close. I didn't even realize how close that was when I actually was playing. Oh my goodness, that was really. You see me like barely dodge those spikes there? Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I still do that now. But at least now I can actually talk about things. Like I'm not too afraid to like talk about stuff with you guys, because I mean, you guys know what I like. I like K-pop. Well, okay, I like all music, but I've been recently into K-pop because they put on like a show on top of. It's almost like, I want to compare it to like Backstreet Boys and why they were popular, right? Like, if you remember way back, I don't know how old any of you are, but way back, like when I was like a year, or I don't even know how old I was when Backstreet Boys came out. I didn't listen to them at all, but I imagine it's the same thing about why they were popular, right? Like they put on like a show while they sing. It's like Glee. That's why Glee is popular, I guess, because the singing is good, and they dance around, so it's interesting, right? And I feel like it's the same thing with K-pop, and that's because like I don't. Like, I like Glee, but I never watched too much of it. Like, I watched, like, maybe a couple episodes because I know my parents were into it. So I always, like, would watch it with them if I had a chance. But it was, I don't know. It's interesting. I've never been into, like, You ever see those animes where, freaking, there's, like, these guys that are, like, all obsessed with, like, a certain girl? Or like a certain like person, and there's like a crowd of them. They follow them around. That's what I feel like K-pop feels like all the time. Like in the comments of the YouTube videos that they post, it's like, oh, I'm this person, and I want this person to be the best, and this is my bias. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. Okay. So what are we doing in Vagante? So the thing with Vagante, right? Death's Allocate is awesome. It's you know, it does a ton of damage. It's something that I've debated with, like, obviously my last Vagante video, I had Death's Allocate on because it allows for interesting gameplay, especially if all you do is play Vagante all the time. It's really interesting to just start to lose every run again, which is crazy. And I almost like it because it reminds me of Catacomb Kids, where you can't take too many hits, especially as Knight and whatnot. But it's a hard class, and there are times that you can do like super well with it, but then other times it's really like a flip of a coin with Death's Allocate. But yeah, he's having frustrations with Death's Allocate. I don't think. See, that's another thing. Is like the common thing with Vagante, and I see it a lot, is that oh, I'm just bad at Vagante, which is, I totally feel it. I almost gave up 3 times. I think it's 3 times, or if not more. I almost gave up like 4 times, and it's not that you're bad. It's that Vagante is a game that very much tries to kill you all the time. It's something that I've realized while playing Vagante entirely. It's almost like Dark Souls. In fact, it's very close to Dark Souls. Well, Dark Souls will play something like, oh, here's this, and then actually here's this giant monster to stop you from getting this, right? Vagante is like Dark Souls in that way, but it also does it in a way with small monsters too. So like Dark Souls is very much like, here's this huge monster where you wanted to be, blah blah blah, and now you're gonna die because he's really hard to defeat. Vagante does kind of the opposite, right? It's like, here's spikes and here's a boulder trap, right? Here's a Gorgon Eye, and that Gorgon Eye is gonna make you freak out. But can you keep under calm, right? Or can you keep calm enough to then like react in the appropriate way? Because if you react to the left, you're gonna get hit by spikes. If you react to the right, you're gonna get hit by the boulder trap. So it's very much like a learning experience, trying to figure out like how Vagante will F you up, right? Like I've played Vagante enough that like I'll see a room and I'll be like, all right, there's usually a Gorgon Eye in this corner, right? Like there's probably like a 70% chance that I'll see a Gorgon Eye in this corner. If I see a Gorgon Eye in that corner, will I be able to make that? It's something that you gain by playing, and really that's the cool thing about this game, is you won't fully master this game until you start to learn all of the level design or all of the level layouts. So I always try to play constantly, so in case they add any more, I'm always like up to date with all the layouts. Because if you think about it, Vagante is like rooms. Like Vagante has mini rooms, right? Like one chunk is a room, then you have another chunk which is a room, and it just reminds me of the Binding of Isaac, how like, oh, okay, I'm in this room as in the Binding of Isaac or whatever. This room usually has freaking crying head dudes, and you would like plan accordingly. I don't know. It's just kind of how it goes through my mind, and so I try to memorize all the room layouts so I know exactly which way to dodge or which way to go out. But it doesn't always pay out, and you wouldn't believe some of the practice runs I've had off screen where I just face plant it into spikes when I first start. It's tough. Vagante's tough. I don't know if people are bad as much as Vagante is just literally trying to kill everybody. So you can be good at mechanics all you want, especially in the fourth world. The fourth world is all about like trying to push you off the edge. Although the fourth world is all about trying to push you off the edge, but they've been improving on it. I see them improving on it, and it's like they changed the swoopers. Instead of grabbing you and throwing you off, they have boulders, and the boulders take longer to come out now because they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job balancing their levels, and I don't know where their priorities are. You know what I heard the other day? You know what I freaking heard the other day? They just casually dropped this on the forums. They're like, people are in the forums like talking and whatnot. And there's a subject that came up that's like, oh, we need more longevity in the game. And I agree. More longevity for sure. And they're talking about like levels and stuff. And one of the developer people go, yeah, we're planning a level editor. What? Oh, what? A level editor? You cannot just casually drop, oh, hey. Yeah, no, we've been thinking about putting a level editor in the game for a while now. What? You can't just do that. You can't just casually drop level editors like it's nobody's business, dude. That is terrible. That makes me super excited though. Not gonna lie, that piece of information made me super excited. The level editor will increase the longevity of the game so hard. They don't even have to put a daily run in if they have the level editor, especially with Steam community levels. Freaking all you guys have to do, I could start playing you guys' levels. You guys could make the levels like super hard and I'll freaking go through it. But you know, I don't know, it'd be super fun. It'd be super crazy. And so I'm really looking forward to the level editor. But yeah, I don't know what brought me to that. I just kind of like changed topics immediately to the level editor because I'm so excited. There's so many Gorgonized up there. So many Gorgonized. Let's see if what happens here. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, can I do this without taking damage? There we go. Death's Allocate is definitely Gorgonized are the bane of Death's Allocate existence. Whenever I play Death's Allocate or Acolyte, I can't. You know, I do that all the time. I always look at the word Acolyte and I'm like, oh, that's totally Allocate, even though there's no fucking way it could be Allocate. Like the letters are just not there to make the word Allocate. It's obviously Acolyte, but like here I am like effing up every single time. I don't understand. I pronounce words like I'll see the word and I won't even look at it twice. I'll just be like, oh, that's how that word's pronounced. It's a weird habit I have. I need to actually start learning how to pronounce words. I need to go back to kindergarten and actually fucking do anything. I hate this. I don't even take damage here. This is insane. Okay, no, it took damage there. Friggin', I do need to play more with Death's Allocate though. I feel like it'll make me a better player. Death's Allocate is one of those things that, you know, although it's, okay, I hate this. I hate Worm Boss so much. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. Every time I see Worm Boss, I just have to exclaim how much I hate Worm Boss. Can we just logically go through Worm Boss's cycle? So Worm Boss's cycle is he comes out of the wall in a place on your screen that you can see him on your screen, right? And then after he does that, he does 2 rounds. Well, okay. Sometimes he'll come back out of the wall again, or he'll do 2 rounds of jumping, right? And that is the stupidest gosh darn thing I've ever seen in my life. Because those are 2 things to where he can't be hit. So, okay. So if he comes out of the screen, just like out of a wall that's somewhere on your screen, right? He could come out from this bottom area down here, which means I would have to go then to the left and all the way around. Or I would have to go, like, if he came in through a wall, I couldn't hit him at all. And then he goes back into the wall, and then he starts doing the thing again. Oh, I just hate it. I just hate him so much. I don't even think he's a hard boss. It would be different if he was challenging and challenged my mind in any way. But he doesn't do that. I don't know. Someone explain to me, like, maybe I'm just thinking about him wrong. Maybe his design is genius, and I'm just not thinking about it correctly. But I hate him so much. And it's not like I have trouble defeating him either, so it's not like I'm salty about that. I'm just salty about his fucking... He never comes out in the right place. And it just takes like 10 minutes to defeat Worm Boss sometimes. Like, you would not believe the amount of time that I spend on Worm Boss just like freaking within my practice runs. There's times where he takes like 5-6 minutes, no exaggeration, 5-6 minutes. because he'll spawn on like the left side of the map, and then I'll move to a different location, right? So he'll have to spawn somewhere else, and then he'll spawn in the place where I have to go back through my other location. Oh, I just hate it. I just hate it so much. We're doing well here, though. The Death's Allocate damage is actually helping a ton. Being able to just defeat enemies instantly like that is definitely clearing the way for us. We also have the Wildling, which is good. It looks like he's going Animal Path, which is good, I guess, for plants and stuff, because you can do damage to plants without having to actually go to the plants. I have a dagger here, and since I have my invulnerabilities, I'm going to see if I can't take him out real quick. It does have shocking on it, so hopefully that does something. I took 10 damage from that wisp. That should not have happened. There we go. Alright, wait for him. Don't attack him yet. 52 damage. Oh, yeah, your Death's Allocate, that's right. Awesome. I'm glad. It's almost like when I'm playing this live, because I have no idea. I forget what happens sometimes. I'm at the point now in YouTube where like I've made so many episodes that it's hard to like I'll rewatch some of my episodes, and it's like I'm watching them for the first time. Oh my goodness, I was watching what episode was I watching? Well, because episode 60 of Vagante got a ton of views. It's like a 254 as I last checked, which was today. I checked today on episode 60 because it's been climbing so fast. And I wondered why, so I looked at like audience retention and whatnot, and I just wanted to see like when people stopped watching the video and why they stopped watching the video, and when people think that I start to get boring. It's a hard thing to do. Death's Allocate is a hard trait. Yeah, I agree, dude. I past me, I totally freaking agree, dude. But it's also really beneficial. And that's another thing. I never died. See, that's another thing is like it's very like coin flippy, right? Like you could do super well as Death's Allocate, and I've done it before in practice runs. I've done super well just with Death's Allocate, not even doing Holy Knight. I've done it on Wildling, and it's really good. And that's another thing is the stats are lowered. Good point past me. And it's true. It's a freaking SoldierAphix hits it on the point and agreeing with me, because it's I don't know. It's one of those things that I've thought about, and that's why I do so many episodes, or I've been doing so many episodes with Death's Allocate recently, or not recently, but like the past couple episodes are like challenge runs and whatnot. And I think the first challenge run I did was 1 max HP. Was it? No, the first one I did was Wisp's Curse, because I always thought it was weird that existed in the game, and I wanted to see if I could beat it, but I didn't beat it, and so then I went to 1 max HP, and I fucking did that. I don't know why I did that, but you know, I should use the darkness more often. The darkness is more valuable than I think it is, and I know it is, so I just don't use it very much. Losing half your health is just not okay to me. It's just not a cool thing. And it's something that, like, Fairy is never on the same floor as Darkness anymore. Like, it's depressing. Like, I want to sacrifice Fairy to freaking Darkness, but if the Darkness isn't going to be on that floor, then it's stupid. Because I like having the choice, but I think if you get Fairy and Darkness on the same floor, you have to sacrifice Fairy, because that's just such a rare occurrence that getting all stat boosts except Vitality is just insane. And getting all your stats up is really good, especially if you already have good Vitality like Knight does. Freaking sacrificing Fairy to the Darkness is definitely something you want to do. I love the look of the new statues, by the way. Freaking Vagante, great job. You know what I think that they need to do, and the game would be perfect, is one, freaking bring the level editor, because that I'm waiting for now. Like, ever since I heard about that, like, freaking I cannot wait for that level. Not only will I be making the shit out of levels, but I will also, like, that'll give you guys like a chance to interact and shit, and I'll be able to play all your levels. It'll be great. Oh my goodness, that sounds like the best idea. Assuming that you can share levels, that would be. I hope it's not just local levels. I hope that you can like share them with the Steam community at least. This spider's gonna be a problem for Death's Allocate. Oh. Okay, good. He survived. I'm kind of just waiting for them to deal with the spider. But I should go down and help. There we go. There we go. I was gonna say, past me. What are you doing? Just go and help them. Deathsalakid is having a hard enough time. Freaking Zane over there. I don't know if you suck as much as spider sucks, right? That's another thing is like the enemies in this game suck. They just suck really hard, especially the fourth world. I cannot stand the fourth world enemies, especially that raging bull guy. I know there's less of him now. I don't see him very often, or maybe they removed him from the game entirely, but I don't, maybe it's because I don't go to the fourth world very often, but there's these raging bull guys, and I hate them so much. I should be able to defeat this guy with all my invincibilities, and my shocking would do well too. There we go. He doesn't want to be revived next. I don't know. Having more damage is better than no damage. It's I don't know. It's like, would you rather have a giant sword that kills every boss in one hit, but you die in one hit while wielding it, or would you rather do normal damage and stay at have a whole bunch of health? I don't know. I'd rather have the sword that insta kills bosses, but at the same time, then it gives you no room to experiment with the bosses. If you know the game, like I know Vagante, I would definitely go Deathsalakid, and I'm pretty sure Zane knows the game as well. It's just it's also that we're on tilt because this game, I don't know if I explained it in the beginning, but we played 2 games before getting to this. We did not do well at all, so that also has something to do with it. I notice whenever I do bad in my practice runs, I for sure just do bad in my recording. I'll die of forest. I hate dying in the forest whenever I stop the recording. It's the worst feeling. It's like at least get to the catacombs. Like if you die at the catacombs, respectable death. But if you die in the forest, or at least for me, if I die in the forest, I just feel so ashamed. I dishonored my whole entire family, and they're disappointed in me, and then I'm shunned and forced to leave. And then I do a coup d'etat or whatever. I forget how you pronounce that. Coup d'etat? I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. Perform a coup d'etat on the clan because I'm ashamed. But we're making it far. We're in the forest. I mean, it's saying something if you reach the forest, right? The way I'm gonna make a tutorial soon. So those of you that are waiting for a tutorial, no worries. I'm in the process of making a tutorial. I haven't gotten my tutorial group together yet, so I'm doing this next tutorial by myself again. I've wanted to do a tutorial about each level and what proper level etiquette is, because you approach each level differently. Because the way Vagante works, the way Vagante works is the dark caves it seems really unfair. It does. It has spikes everywhere. It has boulder traps. It's really hard to get through that level without seeing a green plant thing. And the green plant things are always placed in terrible positions, so they knock you into other enemies. And then Gorgonized are right over spikes, so they'll knock you into spikes. And it's really unforgiving, that first level. But if you think about it, the level the way you handle that level is really different. So the first level is all traps, right? You have boulder traps, spike traps, and all that. And it's hard, right? I still find it hard, and I'm a quote unquote experienced. I laugh. Experienced Vagante player, but I'm really not. But what I will say is that I still find it hard. And it's not hard in oh, I can't get past this. It's hard in the fact that you could, if you make one mistake, you could end up ending your run just right there in the dark caves. And And the best of it, the mistakes happen to the best of us. Especially, like, I do it on a weekly basis. I'll jump into spikes in the dark caves, and I hate it. But, you know, it's part of the learning experience. Like, the first level teaches you, or the first 3 levels teach you how to be careful, right? All of Vagante is being careful. If you're not careful, you're gonna die instantly. And so the first level does a really good job of teaching you, like, hey, don't just freaking walk around, do nothing. Alright, I think here's where we fight Golem, so I need to commentate through this. So, I see Golem there, and I want to throw this bomb that I have on top of him, so I try to drop down to that lower level. So this is key to why we're about to not necessarily think. So I jump down because I'm like, hey, well, might as well jump down because we have to defeat Golem boss. We defeat Golem boss. Great. Good news. The problem is I had just bombed our only way back up. So unfortunately, we're stuck down here. So I think we spend like a while trying to figure out what is going on and why, like, SoldierAphix is like, what? Zane's over there like, okay. Zane's the first one to figure it out, and we're over there like examining our items like, oh cool, look at these golem items we just got, or this key. I have a key now, and there's a book over there. And he has grab walls, so he tries to give the grab walls to me, and I try to get up, but I don't think it's gonna work because grab walls is very, like, your jump radius gets lowered while you're on a wall. So it's not, or not radius, but like jump distance gets lowered while you're on a wall. So it's different than what you normally would see. But I think someone has wall or floor phasing and eventually can get through this. It was just the scariest moment because we were doing so well up to this point. I mean, we have a glass cannon, which is really good for us. We also have and when the glass skeleton dies, that's another thing is Death's Allocate is really good on multiplayer. If you can have one person on Death's Allocate and 2 other people, maybe 3 other people on other traits, having just a glass cannon that can then turn into a skeleton and still function as a skeleton, that's really good. It's almost like it removes the whole downside to Death's. And there I go again saying Allocate. Freaking why? I just said, or at least I'm pretty sure I just said earlier in the video that freaking Allocate is not Acolyte. Freaking I hate it. And I'll rewatch the video and I'll like, there was this one episode, like I think it was last episode actually, where I'm talking about Death's Allocate. It's Death's Acolyte. You dumb freaking jerk and a half, dude. I hate that shit. I cannot stand when I mess up. There's also a period in time. There's also like I don't finish my stories, right? Like I just realized just now that I didn't finish talking about my episode 60 and why it got so popular. It's hard. It's hard to like start a story and then finish it. I don't know why. It's something that I never thought I had a problem doing until I started a YouTube channel and I had to now tell stories, and you just can't. You just can't tell stories. I don't know how. I don't know how I wasn't able to tell stories, or I'm not able to tell stories now, but whatever. But okay, so 60, I watched episode 60 of the series because it was really popular, and episode 60, I hate it. I can't stand episode 60. So I do this thing, and I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I do this thing where, yeah, I'm really happy you had wall facing, dude. Freaking, if you didn't have wall facing, we would have been fucking screwed. SoldierAphix saving the day. I just want to let you guys know, without SoldierAphix here, we would not have gotten past that point. Awesome. So, yeah, no, see, I tried to do it. My brain tried to get me off track, but I remember. So I hate episode 60. So I do this thing whenever I'm nervous or whenever it's silent, and I never noticed it before because I would always have like someone talking in between, but whenever there's silence, I get nervous and I start to clear my throat to fill the silence. I hate that shit. I do it all the time, and I don't think I do it anymore. But when there was like a period in time, and I saw it in my videos, there's like a period in time where I just go like 8 times, like 8 flippin' times. And by the 8th time, I'm just like, why are people watching my videos? Please, please just click away. Just teach me a lesson, please. It's just so stupid. I can't even. Who does that? Who clears their throat to fill silence? Okay, so game plan time. So we get into the catacombs here. And I go into it with high hopes because we're all at full, or generally full health. We have a Death Allocate glass cannon, which is really good for bosses. So if we can manage to keep him alive until we get to the boss, it'll be really good. So I'm going to try and fight everything here so we can get Death Allocate guy to the boss and hopefully do a couple damage before he dies. And then I can get in there and finish him off with my dagger, which I think would be really, really cool. But we don't want SoldierAphix to go and sneak through because he's very squishy. He's very squishy. You don't want to send your glass cannon first. Definitely use magic mapping. I'm also going to use magic mapping because in multiplayer magic mapping doesn't apply for everybody. So using it for yourself is really good, or having a navigator or whatever. Nice, he got through that. So this starts out with me just fighting everything because I have to clear the way for our glass cannon to do everything, but I'm taking too much damage. And we're not doing enough damage, so because we haven't found the right items, we haven't found everything that we need, and plus I lack the skill in the catacombs because I usually just race through this anyway. It's been brought up before that like I kind of skip through this, and I've gotten too used to the habit of just kind of skipping through this entire level. So when I get low, I just say fuck it and I go through, especially since I have this knight's invincibility thing going on. It's really helpful to just be able to run through and stuff like this. The problem is I think the time has been reduced on it maybe, but I don't know if it actually has been. Our Death Allocate guy actually stayed alive, but our wildling is not there. We got I think it's Zane is the wildling. But yeah, it got dicey there. There's the proper etiquette is that the first level teaches you what traps are. The second level, the forest, teaches you how strong enemies can be. The catacomb combines the two. But it's also like very claustrophobic of a level. Like at least the forest and the dark caves are open and you can like move around and feel comfortable. The catacombs are very enclosed and they're meant to be that way, so you'll fall into traps easier and go into enemies easier, and the enemies do way too much damage. So there's, in my opinion, there's no point to the catacombs. The items that you get in the catacombs aren't even worth the trouble and the damage that you'll take from the bosses. So I absolutely hate the catacombs. The fourth world, however, is worth defeating the bosses because the items in the fourth world get crazy, and you honestly need crazy items if you're going to loop the game again. So it becomes this weird balancing act of like, what levels do you defeat and what levels do you not defeat? Because there are times when like you don't have the items necessary to defeat certain levels. So blast through it, or blast through the catacombs. I think the forest is necessary. The forest is necessary because you're not quite leveled up yet, right? You have the dark caves where you get your first ability, and the forest gets you to level up your second ability. And then when you get to the catacombs, you're kind of leveled up to the point where like leveling up now would just be stupid. Like you would just be upgrading a stat that you didn't want anyway. Well, I mean, I guess it would be helpful to have like vitality, strength, and holy, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. And then the fourth world is where you really want to start fighting things and start destroying bosses and stuff. But that's assuming that you have enough. I don't know. I don't want to say skill. But like items. It's assuming you have enough stats to get through the rest of the game. I don't know. I've considered one strategy I would consider is saving your keys from the first 3 levels, because the first 3 levels honestly give you shit, and you'll be able to find weapons just in boxes and shit and in chests. So there's no reason you should open up the first couple chests unless you're alchemist mage and you really need the regeneration potions and whatnot, because they could have regeneration potions in them, and that's the main reason why you open the chests in the first 3 levels. But I would consider saving those 3 keys for the fourth world, right? All right, so we're here. Obviously, we're at the fourth world. I mean, we kind of cheated a little bit, like I always do. I don't know about freaking cheating is how you win, dude. You got to get through those catacombs. Those catacombs, I don't know. But we're here. We're here at the fourth world. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the clouds. I love the blue. I love the everything. I hate the level, but I love everything about it. If only the level was crazy awesome. I want something like crazy, like you know what I want? You know what I want for the fourth level is give me a Shadow of the Colossus boss. I know it's a recycled boss that people use a lot, but give me a Shadow of the Colossus boss. Like in 2D, you know how awesome that would be? Like there's a huge giant dude that takes up the entire level, and you have to he'll smack his arm down, you have to climb his arm and shit. You know how awesome that would be in Vagante, right? Like all the enemies get sacrificed when you get to the last level. All the enemies get sacrificed, right? And you have to fight this last boss, and it's like a Shadow of the Colossus boss. All the enemies get sacrificed, and it summons this huge god. You know how awesome that would make Vagante? You know how crazy that would be? Everybody would be talking about this game if they had a Shadow of the Colossus boss, where they just like they sealed off the door. Like you find the door, and all the enemies get sacrificed. And then this huge boss summons, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" Right? That's part of the what makes Catacomb Kids so fun, right? It's like you never know what's gonna pop out, right? With Vagante, it's become this monotonous, oh, okay, I know what's gonna pop out. I know what Vagante can do. I know what it's capable of. I like the there's this boss that they have already in the game that has orbs floating around him, and he has hands, and he tries to smack you. Make him like that. This boss is fine. I like him. He has a good concept. Halfway through, he starts to lifesteal. I'm thinking that instead of invulnerability right away, I should just tank his damage for the first couple things, and then when he gets to his lifesteal portion, I should just leave him alone. Because right here he starts to lifesteal, and it's a problem because then, even though he's at half health, he still lifesteals it all back, which is not good. So it's right here that I realized that this isn't gonna work, and I need to leave because there's too much. It just does too much damage. But this is a problem right here. It's how am I gonna get past this? I don't even know. But yeah, it would be so awesome if that was one of the fourth world bosses. I would love the fourth world. Because right now the fourth world is 2 floaty bosses and the sword boss. And unfortunately I fell off the edge. I didn't have to. I just fell off the edge because I'm an idiot. But that was a good game. Vagante, consider hiring me. That would be, no, just joking. Vagante, you guys are doing a great job. This is one of my favorite games. If you guys watch my videos, I highly doubt that they do. But I love them so much, and I only hope that they continue to make the game better and great. And I just want to let them know that I'm always playing. I'm always playing your game. I really think it's awesome. I mean, it obviously needs. You guys are doing a great job with balancing and whatnot. I think Mage needs a couple buffs, but other than that, it's been a pretty smooth ride. Maybe Rogue could use a couple things, but he's still viable. Mage is the only one that I can think of that's like Jesus. But that's the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button. I'll really appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe, I upload stuff similar to this every day. Let me know if you guys like the post commentary. I think it's interesting and allows me to talk about a lot more stuff. But I also like live commentary a lot more because you get reactions and whatnot. So there's ups and downs for both of them. But I hope you guys are having a good rest of your day. And peace out, guys.